Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Now this time around, it actually wasn't very easy to come up with a decisive strategy to even beat Hela consistently, even with my current items. You can see what I mean from my failed attempts, which will play at the later part of the video, but right now, I'm going to show you guys my thought process throughout the fight and just my general approach to Hela. So when Hela spawns, she will always spawn in the exact same location every run you do of her. And it might be a little confusing on why I'm angled and not just straight up in her face. This is to try to attack the crystals if they just so happen to spawn near Hela, so I can kill them and attack Hela at the same time. Now, one big thing about the fight, which made it a lot easier than I probably made it out to be, is I was trying to kill the caster crystals as soon as I got the chance to, because the problem with these crystals is the rings that they emit can root you, and the root duration is long enough that it can allow the Draugr warriors to kill you nearly instantly, depending on how much health you have. Another major problem with the caster crystal for me, I don't know if anyone else had this problem, but in 90% of my runs, when I went close to the caster crystal, the laser that shoots out always aims directly at me, and because of my health, I am not able to avoid the damage, and I just end up dying for a very stupid reason. Now, my first approach was to kill the summoner crystals and leave the caster crystals alive, because the less amount of minions there are on the map, the far easier time I would have dodging Hela's attacks. But as I played the boss more, I realized it's actually the other way around. If I kill all the caster crystals and leave only the summoners alive, all the minions can group up eventually, or just be in a predictable pattern, and make it a lot easier for me to run around the map, because I always try to keep a mental note of where the mage minions are, and I always assume that the warriors are right on my tail, unless I see them, like, around the corner. Now, for the line of circles that appear left to right of Hela, and also the line that she shoots straight down the middle of the arena, I'm able to avoid this pretty easily because I do have a little bit of an advantage, as I already know Hela's full attack cycle, both on phase 1 and on phase 2, so I know when the attacks are going to appear and where they're going to appear. Now, for Hela's rapid fire line ability, where she moves left or right and shooting lines at the middle, the direction she moves in is completely random, but for most of my runs, she seemed to start moving to the right whenever the match started, so this gives me a mostly predictable pattern. However, I had a few runs where she did go to the left side first, so you gotta be prepared for when she moves, because the first line is almost undodgeable. So you can see here, I attacked the caster crystal as well as Hela at the same time, but I did not hit the summoner crystal. This is so I can separate their HP, so I can kill the caster crystal one cycle earlier than the summoner crystal, because I did want to eliminate as many caster crystals as I could, as mentioned earlier. And if you don't know how the crystal summoning works, Hela has a limit to how many crystals she can spawn on the map, and if for some reason she can only spawn one more crystal before it hits the cap, she will always spawn a summoner crystal. Using this knowledge, I can fully eliminate all the caster crystals on the map and make them basically extinct for the entire fight. However, if you can kill the crystals very quickly, you cannot use this approach. A big bonus to killing the caster crystals and eliminating them entirely is you don't have to deal with the rings on the ground, as the ones from the caster crystal will root you for 5 seconds, and that gives way more than enough time for Draugr warriors to catch up to you and kill you instantly, most of the time. So if you have the chance, definitely kill the caster crystals instead of the summoner ones. The minions are not really that big of a deal, even though the Draugr mages can root you and the Draugr warriors deal a lot of damage. They aren't really that bad, honestly. Now, in this sequence, you probably saw it was a complete miracle that I survived. I decided to take a healing break, so I opened my inventory and I had to look for my healing spell. I did not realize where it was immediately, so it took me like 2 seconds to realize where it was. And right as I swapped to it, I got it in just like a couple milliseconds before I would have died from the lines. And the lines dealt so much damage that I survived on 24 million HP. Afterwards, I had to weave my way through Draugr mages and Draugr warriors on my tail without a speed boost active. And as that was happening, more line circles were coming, and I managed to get another heal off and recover myself from that situation. So that was a really scary situation, but I managed to pull through it, so I thought I'd share that. Now the same can't be said about this situation, unfortunately. The mages were attacking in front of me, so I couldn't go in front or else I get rooted, and if I went back I would have to take a hit from the circles, and because I didn't have my heal spell on me and I was still quite low, I was forced to take a life here, so that was unfortunate. Now once again here, I was forced to take a hit because right behind me were a bunch of attacks from Draugr mages, and if I went back, I would get rooted and killed by Draugr warriors, so I was forced to take a hit in this one. However, the difference from the last one is this time I was on full HP, so I would be able to survive the hits. Now here, I was just really lucky that the Draugr warriors didn't kill me. I didn't realize that they could hit me from that far away, so I decided to just run straight through them as I felt like going left would have been in a bad spot. So yeah, I just got really lucky in this spot. So you saw there, I was trying to angle myself so I could kill only one summoner crystal. In my whole run for both mage and warrior, I really wanted to try to avoid spawning a caster crystal, but you can see from my warrior run, I was forced to let one spawn. Well, not really forced, I just let it happen because I didn't realize that one of the crystals was the same HP as another one. But in this case, I did realize that, so I was angling myself so I could kill only one crystal. Turned out it worked out. And no caster crystals, which meant less rooting. Now this was just a mistake on my end. I didn't see the Draugr warriors beforehand, so I ran straight into them, and what do you know, they hit me, and they killed me. So yeah, a little bit of a mistake on my end. So yeah, I guess that's it for this analysis. Nothing really else to say other than I got really lucky. So next I'm going to show you guys my failed runs, and then we'll call the video here. If you guys like this content, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel for more future Dungeon Quest content. I'll be making a lot more videos in the coming days as we have quite a lot to talk about. Thanks for watching, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.